I finally did what I always threatened to do. When my son was born, I made a promise, not to him, but to myself. I told myself that if he ever decided not to go to college, I'd take his education fund, fly to Europe, and spend every dollar drinking beer brewed by monks in Belgium. It was always a joke between us. I'd say it, and he'd roll his eyes, laugh, and say, "Yeah, right, Dad. Like you'd ever actually do that." But life's cruel like that, because now I actually did. My boy was brilliant, smarter than I ever was. Sometimes I used to joke that maybe I should have gotten a DNA test because he was that sharp. I'm kidding, of course, but the kid was a genius. He got into McGill, one of the top schools in Canada. When that acceptance letter came, I was the proudest I'd ever been in my life. I took him out for a beer. Yeah, he was underage, but screw it. It was a father-son moment. We toasted to his future, and I joked, "Well, guess that means goodbye to my European beer tour." He laughed. That was the kind of relationship we had then in March. A drunk driver hit him. My boy, gone. Just like that. I can't even describe that kind of pain. No parent should ever have to bury their child. My ex-wife and I, we both broke in different ways. She remarried years ago, and her husband's a decent man. Not really close to my son, but respectful. My current wife, she's been my rock through all of this. I'd have shattered without her. When the funeral dust started to settle, my ex came to me about the RESP, the education fund I'd built for him. She asked what I planned to do with it. I told her quietly, "I'm going to Europe. I'm going to drink beer just like I always said I would." She stared at me like I'd lost my mind. Then she said, "Well, could you give it to my stepson?" Instead, he's starting college next year, and I just laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I couldn't believe she asked her husband, always made it clear that my son wasn't his responsibility beyond a roof and food. So why now was his kid suddenly mine? I told her no, but the fund was for my son. It was his future, his dreams, his laughter, his memory. So if that money can't send him to college, then it's going to send me to the place. I always joked I'd go when he didn't to Belgium to the monasteries, to sit quietly, drink the best beer in the world, and think about him. She called me selfish, said I was wasting money, being stupid, irresponsible, and maybe she's right. Maybe it is stupid. I have to give back part of it to the government anyway. But honestly, I don't care. Because I know one thing for sure. If my son could see me right now sitting in some stonewalled brewery in Belgium, raising a glass to him, he'd laugh his ass off. He'd say, "You actually did it, huh? Oh man, yeah, I did for you. Kid, always for you."